guys, Random Doll Account, back at it again with another video. And it is currently 9 p.m. my time, which means I am not putting on makeup. I am not doing this whole thing. I'm going to give you guys my raw reactions to the Cirque Cabaret event from Integrity Toys. It has been a long day and it has drained me. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. While I am talking, I'm going to get my skincare done so that I can put on my beautiful screening tomorrow and that my skin feels smooth and amazing. So while I'm going through this, you might go ahead and see some products that I'm using, and it's because we're having a little bit of a sleepover. Okay, yeah, sure, it's Sunday afternoon, who cares? Like, this might be released on Sunday afternoon. That's fine. Who cares? Everybody probably is like listening to this anyways. So, and like, once again, this is an inherently unserious channel. So I'm going to go ahead, and while I'm opening up my face mask, I'll go ahead and tell you guys some background information of like kind of where my mindset's coming from before we get into this. So first of all, okay, so I've been with Integrity Toys for a few years now, and I was there for the Seven Sins event, right? During the Seven Sins event, this got so much juice on it. Anyways, during the Seven Sins event, I was like so excited, right? Because I loved the concept of the event, and I was like, oh my god, like I cannot wait to see the dolls that are inside of this event. It's gonna be so much fun. Well, okay, so I put in for 3 dolls for that event. Tantrum Aaron, of course, and the 2 poppies, and I won nothing. And I was very, very disappointed and sad whenever that happened. I've been very, very blessed to go to every in-person event, though, since that time. And I have, you know, been able to get the dolls from all of those events. So whenever I learned this year that we were not going to have a convention, but we were going to have another event like Seven Sins, I was like, yeah, I'm immediately like skeptical, you know? Okay, my skin is on. All right, let's continue this story while this is going for 10 minutes. Okay, so basically, am I pretty yet? Okay, so basically, I was like pretty apprehensive about this event for that exact reason, because I was like, oh, you know, this is just going to be a Seven Sins situation again where I'm not going to get anything that I want and then I'm going to be bitter about it. So I went inside of this event with a lot of reservations. And, you kind of have to know that in order to know, like, kind of why I might be a little bit of a Debbie Downer about some things, because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I really just came into this event like not expecting much of anything, just because I knew what happened last time. So this was 3 parts where we got the doll reveals, and so let me go ahead and open up my phone, which does not recognize me because I have a face mask on, and let's go ahead and talk about the first doll. So the first doll that came out was, and sorry if I butchered this, Le Maître de Piste Cruis Clark. And he is supposed to be our ringmaster. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit disappointed whenever it turned out to be a guy in this role. Reason why is because there are so many amazing female ringmaster you know, looks that I have seen throughout time, and I was just like, we're doing some dude. Like, I just felt a little bit down about it. I do think he's a handsome man, right? And I think that he looks well made. You know, I like his jacket. For me, A, I don't collect boy dolls because in my experience, I just don't keep them for very long. But B, another aspect of this is, he's just not, like, I don't know. He's just not, like, the type of boy doll that really wows me. I like a boy doll that's, like, doing a little bit too much, you know? And he is doing just enough. So, he was an easy pass for me. And then, for our second doll, oh, yeah, here's the specs. Here's the specs. Wait, pause. I did not give you guys the specs. I'm so sorry about that. So his head sculpt is Cruis/Ace McFly. His skin tone is Hungarian. And his price is $175 plus shipping and handling with a tariff surcharge of $10. So he's probably going to be $185 whenever he comes out, because he's going to be out in a few weeks. Because this is our first lottery doll of this particular whatever. He has an edition size of 950. So not very many of him. Low-key kind of expensive. He's just not doing much for me. I can understand why somebody would like him because he's traditionally attractive and I can see him being easy to redress. He's a good-looking male doll. He's just not, like my tea, personally. Anyways, so then we end up with a Ginger Gilroy, which, if you know anything about me, if it's not a little bit obvious, right there. If it's not a little bit obvious, I like Ginger Gilroy. So we ended up with La Magician, Ginger Gilroy. She is ginger. She is in Sun-Kissed. Her hair color is brunette. Her W Club price is $170 plus shipping and handling with a $10 tariff surcharge. So a total of $180. This doll is a made-to-order doll. And I am so glad that that is the case because for me, this doll was what made the most sense to me. She reminds me of, you know what she reminds me of? Louis Vuitton. For me, she makes sense for my collection because I have two dolls that I think that she would pair nicely with. Return to Misty Hollows Poppy, and then I have So Curious Poppy on this side. And I think she would look really nice with them. Almost like a Mad Hatter to Alice type of vibe. So I immediately was very, very interested in her. And then whenever they said that she was made to order, I was like, oh, thank God, I don't have to go through that mess. So I pre-ordered her. And that was a very easy decision for me. I love everything about her, pretty much. The only criticism I have is that because I like the kind of idea of her being like a Mad Hatter, I would have gone for curly red hair instead. But I don't think that that's like that big of a deal, Like, it's just like something that could have happened. But overall, I have very little criticism of this doll. My biggest criticism actually is not really about the hair. It's about the fact that she has pleather pants. As you guys know, pleather degrades very quickly, and I would prefer if it were a hot pant instead so that we didn't have that issue. Okay, and then the third doll. Clownesque Naja Rhymes. So let's go ahead and quickly go through the specs and then we'll talk about the doll. She is Naja 2.0. Her skin tone is in cream. Her hair color is in cotton candy pink. Her club price is $175 with a $10 tariff surcharge, so $185. This is a right to buy lottery doll with an edition size of 1,350, and she will be shipping in the next few weeks. So at a probability, the $195 is going to stick. Okay, so this is the doll that I have the most complicated opinions about. So give me 1 second. I'm going to take off this face mask and then we're going to get deep into it. Okay, so while I'm rubbing this out, I'll go ahead and talk about this. Basically, this doll is a doll that I really, really, really want to like more than I actually do. What I mean by that is I am really big on congruency in my dolls. Like, I want, if a doll has like bright pink hair, I want something else to be pink to tie it together. If a doll has like a red detail, I want there to be an additional red detail in order to be there. This doll, it kind of breaks like that rule a lot, and it's kind of makes me annoyed. And what I mean by that is, okay, so this shirt, I hate it. Okay, what I mean by that is, instead of having a bright red balloon dog in the middle of a white t-shirt, I wish that it were a black and white striped shirt. And then what I would have done is, I would have taken the hair, you know, that giant bow with the stars on it. I don't see how that's congruent to anything else inside of the outfit. So what I would have done instead, and this is once again, just like my own personal taste. This is not, you know, a dig on anyone, but what I would have done is I would have added, instead, I would have removed the bow. You know how the purse is like a traditional clown's hat? I want it to be a clown's hat. And then in order to add some congruency with the pink, I still do think that there needs to be a purse. What I would have done, take that dog, the balloon dog, make it a pink purse, and then put that on her hands instead. And then I would have really liked this doll. Personally, as she stands right now, I like her, but because there's so much that I want fixed from her, I cannot justify buying her. And it's just one of those things where it's like, if I, you know, if I get into the lottery and I win it, right? There are so many people that are crazy about this doll as she is, that me sitting there and being like, okay, now I want to fix half of the things on this doll in order for me to even come close to liking it. It feels like I'm trying to justify buying this doll to myself whenever it's like, you really want to justify spending money on something that you think is okay? What's wrong with that? Like, my mentality on that is weird. So I'm like, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I have given my lottery entries to a friend of mine. And you know, that friend, if they win it, on their end, I'll figure something out on my end. It's okay. Like, it's perfectly fine. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't want to sit here and be the person that's like, oh, because other people want it, I want. Like, no, like that is inherently ridiculous, and I'm not going to do that. There's a lot of things about this doll that I like. There's a lot of things about this doll that I don't like. And the people that love this doll, you're completely valid for it. And like, please go after her. Like, obviously, it's just that I don't want to be the person to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to take up spots or whatever, because I want to like fix everything about the doll. Like, that just makes no sense to me. So I ended the very first round with wanting one doll of the bunch, and it was a right to buy doll. So I was feeling pretty good about that $50 deposit, get the doll in the spring, feeling pretty good. Okay. So I was like, okay, that feels correct. And then whenever we got into round 2, the first doll that came out was La Femme Sablier Victto Verto. And let's go ahead and just talk about her stats before we get deep into it. So she has an edition size of 500. She is a right to buy lottery doll. Her skin tone is in Japan. Her hair color is red, and her W Club price is $165 plus shipping and handling with a tariff surcharge of $10. So she's going to be about $175. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about her, because whenever I initially saw her, I was actually very impressed. Victoire, honestly, all of these 59, and it's honestly just the thing with Chris's screenings. I don't know what it is. I never really connect with them like I want to, you know? So it was one of those things where I was sitting there like, wow, she actually looks great. I really like the corsetry. I like the idea of like 1800s Victorian corsetry, and like going in and being like, okay, well, we're going to manipulate the body so that it's curvier and it creates a more extreme kind of look. I also really like her coloring. It reminds me of Satine from Moulin Rouge, and I thought that was really, really fun. There's honestly not much I don't like about this doll. I think that she's really beautiful. I like her screening, which is rare for me and Victoire. And I just, honestly, I was like very impressed by this doll. Now, with that being said, I do not collect East 59th. She has an edition size of 500. I was not going to do that to myself. But I do think that she's a beautiful doll. And I also love like the little heart on her chest. That's very cute as well. The details are beautiful. The tailoring is beautiful. Once again, Chris is like master tailor. Everything that he tailors is just gorgeous. And I just like respect the heck out of him for what he is able to create from like a outfit perspective. It's just East 59th is one of those things that I typically don't really connect with. But I think that this doll is beautiful. And honestly, I mean, obviously it does, like, this compliment doesn't really matter from somebody, like, you know, just a random channel. But he should obviously feel very proud of himself for this, because this is gorgeous. He did a great job, and he really started out the second act on a good note. And then we get into La Chanteuse. So La Chanteuse, Aurelia Gray. She has an edition size of 500. She is another right to buy lottery doll. Her head sculpt is Aurelia. She actually has the body type of FR 6.0. This is interesting because usually East 59th has the East 59th body type, but Aurelia does not have it. She has an FR body type. Her skin tone is dark A-tone, and her hair color is raven. Her W Club price is $165 plus shipping and handling, and the tariff surcharge is $10. So it's $175 total. Okay, so this doll I actually have a little bit more of a complicated opinion about, which is that I think Aurelia looks really pretty. I really love that coat. That coat looks tailored to absolute perfection. It's beautiful, right? The purples and the greens and the yellows. Here's the thing. Maybe I'm just like a little bit of a comic book nerd or whatever. It's low-key giving the Riddler energy. It's low-key giving the Joker energy. But that's okay. Like, that could still be pretty. Here's my issue with this doll. I hate the dress underneath that coat. And hear me out. I like the dress from like the waist up, but whenever it breaks into black and then has like these like pleats of tulle coming out of it, I do not like that. So I think that this doll is an impressive feat from a tailoring perspective, right? It's just not up my speed, but it's still a nice doll, you know? It's one of those things where it's like that the bottom of that dress makes me mad, but I can still respect it for what it is. She also comes with a mic stand, which is so cool. This gold mic stand, beautiful. That's awesome. And then once that got done, we got into a bunch of fashion packs. So let's go ahead and talk about them. So the first fashion pack was Perurs, facials fashion set. It has an edition size of 550, and it is a lottery set. The W Club price is $85 with a tariff surcharge of $5. So it's probably going to bring you back about $90. I will tell you, I think that this set is super fun. Now, okay, this is where things kind of get interesting. The jewelry is the best part of this set, in my opinion. I think that the outfit itself is quite simplistic, actually. I'm not particularly wowed by this outfit, which is so surprising, right? Because Chris is such an amazing tailor, and he's really, really good at crafting these like amazingly intricate designs. I'm not particularly impressed by this outfit, but man, this bearded lady like face mask is so cool. Like, this is a cool piece, and I almost wish I could have it just for like Halloweens and stuff. This is a rad piece. And like, I also like, you know, even though I went off about how simplistic the outfit itself is, I still like this outfit. And I think that it's a good outfit if you're looking for something with like neutral pieces, but you still want some like kind of fun, weird stuff. You know, I'm not particularly big on outfits unless I already have a new doll that can go with it. So I am not personally getting this, but I could see the appeal. So after that one, we got the, oh my gosh, I'm going to butcher this again. I hate my life. La Dame aux Caniches fashion set, or the edition size is 600. This is designed by Pamela Thompson and David Buttrey collaboratively, which I think is fun. The edition size is $600 and it's expected to ship out within the next few weeks. And then this one is actually more expensive. The W Club price on it is $110 with a tariff surcharge of $7.50, making it $117.50. So this is quite a pricey fashion pack. It is a Poppy Parker fashion pack, which I do think kind of like informs your opinion, but also it comes with a lot. Like, this dog is inherently impressive. I'm very impressed by this like pink poodle. I will also say that this outfit is adorable. I'm going to say something about this later, but I like this outfit with this doll significantly better than anything else Poppy Parker, like the other Poppy Parker that we'll get to later, that we ended up getting. I think that this is so cute and so intricate. And like, I love the red hair, obviously on the base doll, which was Travel Tog's Poppy Parker. I think that that's so cool. I like this doll so much better than the one we get later, and I'll talk about that one later, but like, this is so neat. I don't have a doll to put this on, so I'm not gonna buy it, but I like this. $117, a little bit pricey for a fashion pack. I'm not even gonna lie, like, that's a little bit, but I understand why. There's a giant poodle involved here. Okay, so I get it. I understand it. I respect it. It's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I have to call out that particular detail. And then last but not least, we get into the Victto Tatoue fashion pack. This one was designed by Jessie. And this one is actually a made to order fashion pack. No doll included though. We'll talk about that in a second. So the club price is $99 with a $5 tariff surcharge. So it's going to cost approximately $104 once it comes out. Okay, so here's my thoughts. And this is where things are going to get very weird. Whenever I saw this Naja with this outfit, I was like, whoa, this is great. I wish that this were the Naja we got. Because I like everything about it, right? If that was basically what I was, trying to say, I was like, the base Naja herself is really beautiful, and she has these like really unique red eyes, right? But then she has this like Jean-Paul Gaultier-esque like outfit that I thought was really freaking cool. I was like, this doll is neat. And then whenever Jessie started talking, I started thinking a little bit deeper about this fashion pack. Okay, so Jessie was talking about how like he wanted everything to look very skin-like, but he didn't want to use pleather. And then he starts talking, he uses like, he was talking about wanting it to look very romantic in nature. And I was like thinking about that, and I'm like, wait a second. I started thinking a little bit deeper, and I'm like, wait a second. Okay, Naja is wearing the skin, theoretically, of somebody. Like, I started thinking of very dark thoughts, like very like Jeepers Creepers, like, 4 white horses, like very like, I was like, wait a second, this fashion pack, I was like, oh, this fashion pack's so cool. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, wait a second. It's like a little bit weird to be like wearing the tattooed skin of somebody. Like, I like freaked myself out. I was like, wait, it's kind of a wild like concept, no? Like, to be like, okay, we are going to make a fashion pack of somebody's skin. And like, once I had that thought in my head of being like, this is low-key kind of a horror-themed fashion pack, and not in like a Monster High type of way, but in like a murderer type of way. I couldn't take it seriously, and I started cracking up, and I ruined it for myself. I'm not gonna lie. And unfortunately, I ruined it for you as well, and I apologize. I'm so sorry if that ruined the vibe for you, but like, what's like, so whenever Jessie was talking and I started thinking about it, I was like, it's a little bit weird. like, and all my friends were like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot wrong with me. I should like this a lot because I love Jean-Paul Gaultier. I love, like, you know, I love kind of the energy that this is giving. But, like, I ruined it for myself. And that's okay. That's my life. Ruining things for myself. Oh, well. At least I don't have to spend the money. And then we got a little bit of an extra, which is a purse pack called Snack on Souvenirs du Cirque. And basically, they are these little tiny purses. And the purses are of a popcorn bucket, of a ice cream cone, a hot air balloon, and then of a Queen of Hearts card, right? These have an edition size of 550. They are a lottery. They are $80 with a $5 tariff surcharge, so for a total of $85. And I am completely not interested in these. And let me explain why. I kind of like the idea in theory, like, you know, the Chanel purses that are like, you know, of items. I get that, but because it's so brightly colored, instead of reminding me of the Chanel purses, it reminds me of something else. And I don't know if anybody remembers this. There was this store back in like the 2010s, and it was called Charming Charlie, and they had purses exactly like this, and like you could just go in and buy them, and they were kind of a fast fashion type of thing. Anyways, these remind me of Charming Charlie's purses and not necessarily of the Chanel purses, which anytime I think of Charming Charlie's, I'm like thrown back to my college days, and that's like a terrifying thought. So I'm passing on these, but I can understand why somebody would like them. I think that they're cute, right? The gimmick is fun. It's just yeah, I have like college flashbacks, and I'm like, ramen noodles, student loan debt, anyways, okay, so then during the evening we got our last set of dolls. These ones are very interesting because one of them actually didn't come on the very end. It actually came during a separate event. Basically, during this whole thing, there was a set of events that happened. So at noon Eastern time, Sal did a restyling your doll's hair event. I couldn't go to it. There was another doll event that was happening in my city, and I went to that instead during that time. And then once I got back, that's whenever I looked at the second event. And then at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we got a reveal and a workshop called Props to You. And that reveal and workshop came with a doll. And that doll was another male doll, which I thought was so interesting. We got Le Phoenix Rashad Rousi. And, okay, immediately whenever I saw him, I had a song in mind. I had a band in mind. Whenever I saw him, I immediately went, when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. Yeah, I'm so sorry, but immediately I was like, oh my God, he looks like he's in My Chemical Romance. And once again, I ruined things for myself because I was like, I literally looked at him and I was like, My Chemical Romance is calling. They want their outfit back, bro. Like, if you want to join the band, maybe pick up, you know, some drumsticks instead of some fire sticks. He's a fire dancer. I think that that's fun. I think that, like, even, like, his, like, mustache is, like, silly and fun. I think his combat boots are cool. I think that his additional, like, that, like, additional jacket is really neat. Like, there's a lot I like about him, but I just love ruining it for myself. And I was like, he's in the Black Parade. Like, this is an emo boy. He's a bad boy. Okay. Like, fire. Like, that's the tea. He's just here to, like, rock and roll and be edgy. I'm saying that with a whole bonnet on. Oh my god. Anyways, but I thought that he was hilarious. So let's go ahead and look at the specs. So we've got our club price, $175 plus shipping and handling with a tariff surcharge of $10. So he will be $185. This one is a made to order doll. So good news for all of you boy doll lovers out there. You finally get a made to order doll. Woo! He's expected to ship out in spring of 2026. So plenty of time in order to, you know, get the money up for this boy. I'm so happy that the boy doll lovers out there were able to get a like open edition size doll for once. I'm so happy for you guys. Like T, his skin tone is in sun-kissed as well, and his hair color is light silver with black streaks and flocking. He doesn't have eyelashes, so if you like the lashes from the last set of dolls, you're probably not gonna, you know, but whatever. Hey, finally, boy dolls. And then he also comes with the ticket booth diorama. So that's also really cool. He comes with a diorama. That's really, really neat. I think that that's super fun. I'm not getting him, and I also ruined it for myself, but I'm so happy for you boy doll lovers out there. I think that that's really awesome. And I hope that you get to live out all of your emo boy dreams out there. Okay, so, and then whenever we finally got to the final event, the first doll that was shown was La Aerialiste Poppy Parker. So this doll is a right to buy lottery doll with an edition size of $1,350. Her skin tone is in Japan. Her hair color is silver blonde, and she has a new screening. So keep that in mind for what I'm about to say. Her W Club price is $175 plus shipping and handling with a tariff surcharge of $10. So she will be a total of $185. Okay, so let me tell you my full on thoughts on this doll. Boring. Let me explain. I have a lot of Poppy Parkers at this point. Like, I have a pretty good collection, and my pink dolls are all the way up there. A blonde Poppy with a pink, like, cute dress and a pink, you know, like a pink outfit. I'm just like, wow. Riveting. I've totally never seen this before. And then additionally, I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't feel like her eyes are the same. Like, do her eyeballs look the same to you? Like, truly, I'm asking because, like, none of her photos with her were her with her face close up. And then whenever I zoomed in, I was like, this new screening, the eyes don't look even on it. Am I going nuts? Because people really like this doll, and I'm like trying to, yeah. I'm like, am I going crazy? And then they were like, oh, she also has this amazing like play set, right? Where she's like a full-on aerialist. And I think that that is so cool. That's honestly my favorite part of the set. But I've said it once and I'll say it again. I have a lot of dolls, and I know from a practical perspective, I'm not going to have that playset out, and I would just be displaying the doll. So I have to look at the doll by itself in order to kind of justify what I'm going to do. And from my perspective, I'm like, it's a new screening. Those eyes don't look 100% to me. And she's a blonde Poppy with a pink dress at the end of the day. And she's a lottery. I'm good. I don't, it's not that I don't like her. It's not that I don't think that she's a pretty doll. It's just that she is not the doll for me. And ultimately, that's, you know, what matters for my collection is if a doll is for me or not. And then last but not least, we ended up with Charmeuse des Serpents, Agnes von Weiss. And whenever I saw her, I was like, period. this is it. She is the one. So let's talk about her specs. Obviously she's Agnes. Her skin tone is in Japan. Her hair color is copper. She is also a forward-facing Agnes, which is what I think is really interesting about this particular face. Her W Club price, $185 plus shipping and handling with a tariff surcharge of $10. These dolls are guaranteed made to order, so you do not have to sit here and worry about edition sizes and the lottery and all of that mess. It will be ready in spring of 2026. Yes, spring of 2026, and then you'll be good to go. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this doll. I immediately loved her. Okay, so let's talk about her. I love the fact that she has this like snake charmer type theme. Immediately I was like, oh, I can see her in my collection because I have right here Mirage Giselle and Oasis Agnes, and I think that she would look really great paired with these two girls right here, you know, kind of doing like a desert theme. I think that that would look really pretty. Additionally, I thought that the details on this dress are awesome. Like the fact that the corsetry, it has like little cuts on the side, and then it has, the corsetry has this hard swoop, and then you see like all of these, oh my God. Yeah, all these sequins on her breasts. I thought that that was really awesome. And then the bottom has this intricate pleating that is very serpent-like. And then the fact that her train connects to her hands, I thought was an amazing detail. And then her jewelry, all of this like snake serpentine jewelry, this like purse that's really interesting and unique. And her hair is done up, right? But then she has this like beautiful, beautiful head wrap. And of course she's Agnes, she's forward facing, she's in green, she looks great, right? I was just like, yeah, not only does this doll look beautiful, she fits for me. She fits in my collection. She's doing something that I don't have, you know, yet. She works within the confines of, you know, what I already have. I don't feel like she'd be out of place. She feels like she would belong in my collection. And like, of course, I love a good vintage Schiaparelli moment and all of that good stuff. But what matters more, that the doll will fit for me, right? Because I don't want to sit here and like waste my money. And I was like, this all works for me. This works in my collection. It's doing something that is both unique and complementary, right? Which I really like. I like whenever I can bring a doll in and it can pair well with other dolls, but it's doing something different. I feel like that was kind of the vibe I was getting from her. And I was like, yes, okay, great. I will go ahead and pre-order her. And I did. So I pre-ordered Agnes, and I pre-ordered Ginger. And I'm happy with that. I feel like $100 worth of pre-orders, see them in spring 2026, and just kind of move on with my life is a perfectly fine experience. Now let's go ahead and talk about the event itself, because there's a couple of things I wanted to go ahead and talk about. I can definitely see that there was a lot of effort. I love the theming of this event. There was a lot of things that I really liked. I liked the fact that it was one email and then we got the links to everything. I liked the fact that they were really thinking carefully about a mixture between lottery and made to order dolls. That was really awesome for me. I like the fact that they were thinking about a mixture of lottery and made to order dolls. That was really great for me because of, you know, my personal experience with the Seven Sins event and all of that good stuff. So I'm really, really appreciative of them for doing that. But I wasn't particularly fond of the use of AI in order to preview the dolls. This is just a me thing, okay? AI with dolls kind of freaks me out. I grew up on Child's Play and Chucky, and like the idea of like my dolls being AI generated to become human freaks me out, and I'm not down for it. It's not my thing, personally speaking. Like that's just an additional criticism that I have is that I'm happy that they had, you know, popular molds. I'm happy that they were able to give us more boys and all of that good stuff. However, I don't feel like a lot of risks were taken necessarily on this particular journey. I think that the riskiest doll, quote unquote, would be like maybe the boys. No, not even really the boys. I don't even know. Nothing was particularly risky. No, you know, like, oh, a pale Naja, like that was always going to be incredibly popular, even though there's already been a Naja that's come out this year, right? Like a redheaded Agnes was always going to be popular, you know, like blonde Poppy. You know, like it's one of those things where I just kind of feel like there was a lot of stuff that was like, um, just like very like straightforward to the point, like stuff that people would, you know, generally like. I understand like Ginger. So that's the thing. I'm a Ginger fan. I like Ginger. I'm very vocal about liking Ginger. Um, Ginger has her detractors, so I appreciate that, you know, at the very least we got a Ginger, right? Because Ginger does have a fan base out there, you know. There are dozens of us, but we exist. No, I'm kidding. A lot of people like Ginger, so I'm glad to see her. And, you know, I understand that some people are a little bit mad that they didn't get a Poppy or whatever, but I'm glad to see her. I understand that that was a risk in a way, but like overall, I was like, there was nothing particularly insane here. You know, there was no like crazy risk or anything like that. And I kind of wish sometimes that like we'd see something a little bit wild, you know, but I digress. Overall, you know, I got a couple dolls out of it. I didn't get everything, and that's okay. Not everything is meant for everyone, and I know that there are so many people that are like obsessed with a lot of the dolls that came out from this event, and I'm so happy for them. But that is going to be the end of today's video. I want to know what you guys thought about this event, what you thought about all the dolls in the event. What are you getting? What are you not getting? What's tea? What's good, sis? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, etc., etc. I post new videos at least once a week. Today was a little bit of a delay on my filming schedule because I wanted to make sure that I got this out as early as possible, and that was just going to be on a Sunday. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.